This CamTwist tutorial is going to show you the difference between Desktop and Desktop Plus. Fundamentally, they're both going to do the same thing. They're both going to show your desktop, but they're going to go about showing your desktop in a completely different way. Let's start with the original desktop. This is what has been traditionally inside of CamTwist. Double click on desktop and you can see in my preview window here, it's just showing whatever's on my desktop as I move it around. So if I call up, say, a window that has some NASA TV on it, and we'll size it down a little bit so you can see it there. I move that window around. That's great. I can go in here. I can say, you know what, I don't want it to be full screen. We'll select just a certain area of the screen. So I'll move this up into position. This is great, like so. And now I'm showing just that part of the screen, but as soon as I move the window, it moves out of the way. So if I put something in front of it as well, let's say a Finder window, that's going to, get in the way also, which means that if you've got limited resolution and you want to just lock it to certain video feed, in this instance I'm showing just a live feed from the International Space Station, you can. I mean, you've got only so much desktop real estate to work with. Now the advantage of just desktop is if you wanted to show a fluid area of your desktop that's always changing, you don't want to lock it to a particular application, that's when you're going to use desktop. Also keep in mind that the regular version of desktop takes a little bit less CPU, a little bit less power than Desktop Plus. So now let's show you what Desktop Plus does. We'll double click on Desktop Plus and on the surface it looks identical, right? I've still got my video preview window and I've still got this in the background. But now what I can do, you'll see this new option where it says I'm going to unlock it from full screen and confine it to an application window, and I can select the current application. So I'm going to select the Safari and check that out. Doesn't matter what I do or where I move the window, it's pretty much locked in place there. And unlike desktop, if I take a Finder window and wave it in front here, you'll see it's not showing up in the preview monitor at all. So it's locked to only showing Safari. Now I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to select the capture area. I'm going to size this down, show just the NASA feed from the International Space Station. We'll size that in like so. That's great. So now it looks pretty decent in my preview. And again, I'm just going to take something and wave it in front of that video window and it doesn't move. You can't see the Finder window. I can take my window and I can even move it around the screen. You get a little bit of a blip, but pretty much it's locked in there. One thing you cannot do is if I resize this window, it's going to kind of mess that up. So you don't want to be resizing the window that you're locked to. You want to keep that window pretty much static. Now, one thing to note, it does not support spaces and it does not really support expose. So you'll see if I do expose, my preview window got all messed up. And if I try to do anything else where I move it off the screen or if I hide the application, it messes that up as well. So it still needs to be on the screen somewhere and it can't be hidden, but it can certainly be a background window. So now I can work in CamTwist in the foreground and not a big deal at all. So I can just have that sitting back there somewhere, capturing that live video, whatever it is, through Desktop Plus, and then continue to work with whatever application I want in the foreground. That's the difference between Desktop and Desktop Plus.